Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to explain May 2024 Edexcel Chemistry Unit 2 paper. So we'll see the first question. An enthalpy level diagram for a reaction with an intermediate is shown. Which arrow shows the enthalpy change for this reaction? So children, remember that enthalpy arrow is always going from reactants to products. So you can see the only arrow that goes from reactants to product is A. And we can say that it's an endothermic reaction as reactants have low energy and products have high energy. And B is the activation energy of the forward reaction. So the answer for this is A. Then we'll see sodium chloride dissolves in water to form a solution because of the interaction between sodium chloride and water. What are these reactions? So we know when sodium chloride dissolves in water, it ionizes as Na plus and Cl minus. So we know the ionic compounds will become hydrated. Then there will be attraction between the ion and a polar molecule, or because of the dipole in the polar molecule. Because of that, we can classify the interactions between sodium ion and water as ion dipole. So the correct answer is C. And then we'll see the third one. Which equation represents the reaction for which? Okay. So if I write the normal reaction for the bond dissociation energy of CCl4, I can write it like this, 4Cl gas. But they have asked us to find the mean bond enthalpy. So if we take CCl4, one CCl molecule has 4 CCl bonds. To find the mean bond enthalpy, we need to find the average one. So everything should be divided by 4. Then this will be the correct answer. So according to this, B is the correct answer. This question is about the boiling points. Which isomer has the highest boiling temperature? So if I find the number of carbons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All 4 compounds have the same number of carbon atoms and hydrogen. Therefore, they have the same number of electrons as well. So when they have the same number of electrons, we have to see which one has a straight chain. Ones with a straight chain are capable of having more points of contact between other molecules. So their London forces will be greater. Therefore, it will have a higher boiling point. Which compound has the highest boiling temperature? So when we have alkanes and alcohols, definitely we know alkanes have low boiling points because they have only London forces. We have butane 1-ol, which is CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2OH. It has only one OH group. But butane 1,4-diol means it has 2 OH groups. So when you have 2 OH group, it can form more hydrogen bonding. Therefore, it will have the highest or more energy is needed to break those hydrogen bonding. Therefore, D will have the highest boiling temperature. This one is direct theory, children. When steam is passed over heated magnesium, you get the corresponding metal oxide. So the correct answer is A, and hydrogen. Now, this is also a very common question they give in Unit 2 papers. If you take lithium nitrate, even though it's a group 1 nitrate, it will give lithium oxide, NO2 and O2. But other group 1 nitrates, when they decompose, for example, if you take potassium nitrate or sodium nitrate, it will give potassium nitrite and oxygen. So if you take any group 2 nitrate, they will also give calcium oxide, NO2 and O2 just like lithium. So even though lithium is a group 1 nitrate, it will behave as a group 2 nitrate because of the diagonal relationship between lithium and magnesium. So the correct answer is D. Then the 7th one, some compounds give different colors in a flame test. So we know, children, we get colors when the excited electrons fall back to the ground state. So for different elements, the energy gap between the energy levels are different. Because of that only we get different colors. So the correct answer for that is A, due to the gaps between the electronic energy levels. Then the 8th one, 2 tests were performed on an unknown ionic compound, silver nitrate. With silver nitrate, if you are getting a white precipitate, we know chloride should be there. To give a red flame, the ions should be strontium, lithium and calcium. So easily we can find the correct answer as strontium chloride. Which compound needs exactly 9 moles of oxygen? For this, children, you need to write the balanced equations. So if I take C5H12 with O2, should give 5 CO2 and 6 H2O. So if I count the number of oxygens, 5 into 2, 10, 10 and 6, 16, there should be 8 oxygens. C6H12O with oxygen, you get 6 CO2 and 6 H2O. Then the total number will be 6 into 2, 12. 12 and 6, 18. 1 is already there. 17 over 2. Then if you take, that is also not the correct answer. If you take these two, 6 CO2 and 7 H2O. 6 into 2, 12. 12 and 7, 19. So it should be 19 over 2. Then last one should be the answer, but we'll see whether it has 9 moles of oxygen. 6 CO2 and 7 H2O. So 6 into 2, 12. 12 plus 7, 19. 1 is already there. So 9 into 2, 18 plus 1 only, 19 on both sides. So the correct answer is D. 10th one, which solution remains clear on addition of barium chloride solution? So we have Ba2 plus and Cl minus. When there is a sulfate, definitely we know there will be a white precipitate because of barium sulfate. With silver nitrate, if we have a chloride, we know silver chloride is a white precipitate. So this will not give a precipitate, or the solution remains clear. Sodium nitrate. With sodium nitrate, when you add barium chloride, you get barium nitrate and sodium chloride. Both are in solution. Then the 11th one, in a titration conical flask, okay, so conical flask, you have the acid, sulfuric acid, and they have given the concentration 1 m 10 cubic centimeters. In the burette, you have 0.8 and 25 cubic centimeters of potassium hydroxide. So when we add the indicator, we are adding the indicator to the solution in the conical flask. We have an acid in the conical flask. So the color change is from red to orange. Correct answer is B. Then we have to find the concentration of potassium sulfate. Okay, so first I need to write the balanced equation. H2SO4 with KOH, you get K2SO4 and H2O. To balance it, I need to put 2 in front of KOH and 2 in front of water. We need to find the concentration of potassium sulfate. If I find the number of moles of H2SO4, they have given the volume and the concentration in 1000, it's 1 into 10. So it is 0.01 mole. If I find the moles of KOH, in 1000, 0.8 into 25, you get it as 0.02 moles. So you can see 0.01 and 0.02, it reacts in the same ratio. So you can take either the moles of KOH or the moles of sulfuric. Because the moles of sulfuric and potassium sulfate is 1:1, I'll take the moles of sulfuric. 1:1. If this is 0.01, this also will be 0.01. Then come to potassium sulfate and apply C equals to N over V equation. CKOH is equal to 0.01. Now children, for the volume, you need to take the total volume. We have 10 here. When we add 25, total is 35 into 1000. Then you get it as 0.289, which is equal to 0.29, and the answer is C. Information about the uncertainties are given. Okay, so first we need to find the percentage. Percentage uncertainty for sulfuric acid. Sulfuric, we are using a pipette. Value is 10. We are using it one time into 100. So the percentage uncertainty of sulfuric acid is 0.4%. If I find the percentage uncertainty of KOH, it's in the burette. So plus or minus 0.05, 25 into 2 into 100. Then if you take it 0.05 divided by 25 into 2 into 100, that is also 0.4%. The percentage uncertainty is more than the percentage, so that is wrong. Both are equal. So the first one is wrong. Percentage uncertainty of the volume of sulfuric acid is 0.8, but we got it as 0.4. That is also wrong. Total percentage is 0.8. That is correct. 0.4 plus 0.4, you get 0.8 as the answer. This is also wrong. So the correct answer is C. 12th one, the boiling temperature of the halogens increase down group 7 because on descending the group. So we know boiling point depends on the intermolecular forces. So between halogens, they are nonpolar, they have only London forces. So the strength of London forces are increased due to the increasing number of electrons. So the correct answer is D. Bromine and chlorine each have 2 stable isotopes. Which statement is true? The atomic radius of Br is greater than the atomic radius of 79 Br. That is wrong because the radius depends on the number of protons and electrons. So in an isotope, both of them are equal. Only the neutrons are different. So both of them should have the same radius. The electronegativity, that is also wrong because electronegativity depends on the number of protons. So both have the same number of protons. First ionization energy, that also depends. Okay. First ionization energy of chlorine is greater than that of Br. That is correct because we know chlorine is in the 3rd period. Br is in the 4th period. So Br has 1 extra energy level and the outer electron is further away from the nucleus. So we need to give only less energy. The mass spectrum of CH2BrCl has 2 molecular ion peaks. That is wrong. It will have because it can be CH2, 79Br and 35Cl. This is one peak. Or CH2, 79Br and 37Cl. CH2, 81Br and 35Cl. CH2, 81Br and 37Cl. So there should be 4 peaks. Because of that, D is wrong. 14th one, cyclohexane and aqueous iodine are shaken and left to stand. What colors are the two layers? Okay. So if you take a separating funnel, right, depending on the density, we can see density of water is greater than the density of cyclohexane. Therefore, at the bottom, you have the aqueous solution. Top, you have the organic solution. And iodine is purple in the organic solution and yellow or brown in the aqueous solution. So we can easily say that lower layer, it should be yellow or brown. So we have three options. Upper layer should be purple only. So the correct answer is B. Then the next one, 4 containers of the same dimensions hold sample of a gas. For container 2, the temperature is increased. For which values would the energy value change? So when you increase the temperature, right, we know it will be like this, right? Then E mode will change, E mean also will change. Activation energy remains the same. You can see now more particles are capable of forming products. Energy value will change only for E mode and E mean. For container 3, at the same temperature as container 1, the pressure is lower. For which value would the number of particles at the value change? So if it is at lower pressure, this should decrease, right? Then what will happen? E activation energy will change. E mode and E mean also will change. For container 4, at the same temperature and pressure as container 1, the walls of the container act as a catalyst for the reaction. For which values would the energy value change? Only the activation energy, because when you add a catalyst, activation energy will move towards the left hand side. EA cat. So only EA will change. A is the correct answer. So we are done with the discussion of the MCQ part. So like and subscribe for more videos, children. Thank you.